All right, we are live with Mr. Derek Brenner. How you doing, Mr. Brenner?
Namaste, namaste, my man, namaste.
All right, Derek. So for those people that do not know you, can you give me a little bit of background about, how you got started with yoga, how you
Yeah,
got started with
absolutely.
this life coaching stuff also?
Absolutely. I came up to a critical juncture in my life around my junior year at the University of Iowa, and I kind of looked towards meditation as something that would help support me. And I like to use the mantra that's uttered by Elliot Holst. I know you talk about it a lot of times on your channel. Become the strongest version of yourself. So just the concept of how can I make myself better? What tools can I acquire? And really, how do I work on myself to develop the whole personal development aspect? And meditation was something that came up number one. Across the board, I always read about that. And as you get into meditation, you find out that yoga is like they're two buddies that go together. So yoga is kind of meditation preparation. So to get your body feeling loose, flowing energetically, you're calm, you're in a calm state of mind, and now you can easily get into meditation. And in a way, yoga becomes a moving meditation when you focus on the breath. So I started that junior year just doing some videos online. Yoga Glow is an awesome website. I would just pop up a video and I'd just follow along. And then I had an extraordinary opportunity approach where I was offered a chance to take yoga instructor training and then go teach right afterwards. And so I'm big on anybody who wants to achieve something in their life, like write it down. Goals, put them down on paper. That's exactly what I did. I literally had you can see off to the side, I have a big board now, but I had a smaller one like that, and I would write like stuff I wanted to do. And one of the things came up there, I was like, gosh, I'm really liking yoga. I want to teach. Because my whole philosophy
Oh
is
yeah,
when you love something, you want to share it with other people. And so
exactly.
I went, boom, it just manifested. It showed up in my life right at the right time. And ever since then, this would have been last July. So just finished a year now, full teaching, and been doing almost 10 classes a week. So it's been quite a ride. And I know you've enjoyed listening to some of my yogic philosophy, but it's
Oh
just
yeah.
spread everywhere, and it's really become my life. Like I adopted my business name, Yoga Derek. So that's just briefly how I got started.
You know,
If you
other
want.
than other than Elliot Holst, was there anybody else, that you know personally that kind of, influenced you to start teaching the yoga, or was it just one of those things where you're watching videos, you're following
Yeah.
along, opportunities just came, you decided to take them?
Mhm.
How were you, was there a light bulb or someone that said, Derek, this is a thing that you should be doing?
Honestly, not really. I think about, was there some sort of like person I looked up to who was really good at yoga? I would think maybe my like one of my best friends and mentors. He was a former assistant baseball coach. We stay in contact. I probably consider him at the top of my list. People I try to emulate. His name's Kyle Epstein, and I spent a weekend or a whole week workshop. We did some personal development stuff out in California in this program called WorldWorks, and it's leadership coaching extraordinaire. It's self-development type stuff. We're looking at self-limiting beliefs and how to become, like I talked about, the strongest version of yourself. That's like a theme that is constant in my life. And I remember out there he was doing a practice like early in the morning, getting up, and I was like, I should definitely be doing that, you know? So there was maybe the first little thing where it clicked for me. Like I had played around with yoga and played around with meditation, but when I saw someone close to me and how much it was benefiting him, and I was like, you know what, this is something I could adopt. And from there, I've just kind of went on my own and just did my own research. And I've always been able to pick up like body spatial awareness stuff. So if you were to do a particular pose or you got yourself in a position, I was good at like, all right, I can do that and I can move into it, you know? So, I mean, even like, you've lifted weights with me before. Like if there's a new lift, like I usually pick up everything pretty quick.
Yeah, I would
Always
agree
been
with that.
like real in tune and come from background athletics. And so this was something that was great. And when you really look at what yoga's done for me, it's given me like a bit of significance in the sense that it's something unique that not everyone does. And I feel good because I can share it with other people, but also like I feel that it somewhat distinguishes me in the same way that bodybuilding and the aesthetics and then your knowledge just of nutrition and how to work muscles distinguishes you from the masses. Yoga does the same thing for me.
Now, I briefly debriefed, I guess you would say, Yoga Derek before we started this, but
Mhm.
this is kind of something
Agreed.
that just came to me is I've known Derek to be extremely outgoing, someone who is not afraid to talk to anybody, which I think is a great attribute, characteristic to have. Now, have you always just had that, or was there one of those days where you're just like, wow, I feel like I really know myself and I know what I'm capable of, and I'm not afraid to talk to anybody and just be me? Was there a moment that you had, or was it just you kind of just grew into it?
I mean, honestly, it's been a process. It's been growing over time. Um, I'm definitely not the same person I was a year ago, and certainly not the same person I was 2 years ago. So that's been a huge evolution. I've always had a particularly, I've been inclined to talk to people. I've just been excited by people. Excited by people. I've always been a particular type of extrovert. So like I get
Hmm.
energy just by being around people. Like I don't like to isolate, but I find that isolation for myself is when I really discover myself. So
Right.
it's honestly been by taking time to be alone. And there's times where I'll go a whole weekend like being alone, or like I'll really get into particular styles of meditation, or I'll write up some new yoga stuff, or I'll be really into the business like marketing, reading all these books and things. And I come out of it and now I have all this new stuff to share with people. The best thing and the advice I could give to anyone who wants to be better at talking to people is have cool shit to talk about. Like read, I'm always into looking up stuff on the internet, anything that is out there. Like I love science topics, I love metaphysics, I love philosophies. That's what, again, bringing up Elliot Holmes, like attracting me right away because his topics are so broad. Like he has cool stuff to talk about. He's always bringing something new to the table. And for anyone who wants to like be able to carry on a conversation, you got to have something to talk about. And so if you can spend time doing you, find that solitude, whatever it is. I mean, for me, reading's been great. I love watching YouTube videos and documentaries. For someone else, it could just be picking up something new. Recently I took up like lap swimming. Like I took a whole class on lap swimming. Love lap swimming. I've been getting into like softball. Like I love to do stuff with my body. That's a big thing for me. But
Yeah.
also I'm looking at like playing music. So I have in my room, I have I want to grab it right now, but a little djembe drum. So the music, excuse me, the music aspects coming out of me. All human beings have different facets, and I think it's important to access those and just um, try stuff out.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think, like I said, I think that's one thing that I've always um, admired about you, because I'm almost like personally a little bit in between.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm quick to open up, at the same time. I probably am not the first person to walk up to somebody and just be like, "Hey, I'm Austin," But that's you, and I like that about you, and I think that adds to the your
Yeah.
being charismatic in that kind of way. So we graduated, right? May 2014, 3 short months ago. What have you been up to since graduation?
Honestly, things have just taken off. Like, and I'm so excited to be done with school for now, and to be in this place where like I can just get to keep doing it, like staying on the same path I'm on because I can just feel the momentum building. I've been super active as far as taking new trainings, so amplifying my yoga knowledge, and that's one thing. Like the learning process never ends. Like I graduated from school, and I probably have been more into learning than ever. Especially when I'm doing something that I really want to learn about, as much as love the university, everything they gave me. There was particular classes where I may have thought, why am I here? It just didn't quite mesh up with everything. Part of the process, obviously, we do stuff that we don't necessarily want to do. There's a quote out there that's successful people do what they have to do, or whether they feel like it or not. So they just do it. There's this mentality that it's dedication, and I'm going to go forth and just conquer. So I've been in conquering mode. Like I said, the trainings, been getting the business aspect. I got some T-shirts designed; those will be coming out soon. Got a web page coming up soon. What else? As far as getting settled in just to a new environment, and for myself, I attended like some other like yoga festival stuff, and just got exposed to all sorts of, I would say, different aspects and different avenues you could take yoga. And so I'm really excited. Got a whole list of things. Once again, I'll direct you back to my lovely board of ideas. Like I'll just brainstorm, write something up, and then usually it's like a weekend later. Like I can spend the afternoon like, all right, do this sequence, or like this we could do a 21-day challenge, or like all this stuff comes up. So I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, we've been rolling. I know you've been busy with your
Yeah, with the
technology upgrades.
my technology upgrades.
Yeah, I want people, if they have a chance, to go back and look at some of his old videos and Or
dude.
someday we'll do a comparison and be like, what was he filming on?
Dude, my
Was
first
he drawing
videos,
those?
dude, my
Flip
first
book?
videos, just 6 months ago actually were shit. I was using a 3 by 1.5 inch flip camera
Yeah, it was
that
turning off all the time, and like look at
it would
it.
malfunction
Yeah,
randomly.
we don't know. We didn't. But at the same time, like some cool stuff came out of it. Like we get
Yeah,
weird because
yeah.
you just had this thing, and I would just like point weird angles and
I
just
will.
lift.
If you guys go to the first video I ever released was Derek and I grocery shopping, and you know the quality looks like shit, but I think that the content was really spot on. I thought it was good. I
And
mean,
also that, do you remember that lady approached us while we were doing it? And she was like,
yeah,
"That's such a great. You know what? But if my son was here, you know what? He needs to know these things." She was.
yeah. So I mean, and then that kind of was the beginning. And honestly, what we did that, I technically recorded that last September, and then but didn't really release it till February until someone told me they saw the footage and they were like, "Man, this is really good. You should show this to everybody." And I was like, "I don't know why I haven't, but." And then obviously, as you can watch, I've actually been working on something, Derek. I haven't told
All
you
right.
about this, but there's a lot of funny commentary in these videos that we made of Derek and I just talking that was never released because I muted out all the videos. I have like 600 clips from us throughout last semester, so I'm working on compiling funniest Austin and Derek conversations because I think that would be it's funny to me and it would be funny for Derek and that's all that really matters to us. But you know, just random shit and him talking to people in the gym and you know, I think you know I miss it, man. You know, we've only been
I know it's. I gotta come
removed,
down there.
but
Come down, see what's up. Get right back in the gym and just.
I know
Some
I've been
people,
actually
I miss the gym in the aspect
yeah
like I haven't done quite as much weightlifting as recent, but there's another thing that goes on like when you're really training with people, and I think it's so important. You get this sometimes when you're working with a particular trainer who really gets you at another level, and it becomes like almost more of like it's a social aspect that you feel connected with someone. You have so much more confidence, and I feel better about lifting, like everything about like it's a fun experience. It's not just like I'm gonna beat myself up. There's that aspect. The person's there, like you were always there to push me, like all right, 2 more, 5 more, 10 more reps or whatever. And but at the same time, we had something where you were, I don't know, it was a good time. Looking at it, it's a good time. Definitely missed gym moments.
yeah. I
So
mean, I think we always kicked ideas back and forth, and I think that was you know some of the
it
things.
became like a brainstorm within the
Yeah,
gym.
it was a complete brainstorm session the whole time. I mean, and that's what people don't see is our interaction. I think that was kind of the fun part about it is because you'd be like, hey, try this out. Have you tried this out? And I'd be like, Derek, you should try doing this. Lower your shoulders, whatever it was.
Mhm.
We would use our expertise, whether that be Derek with his yoga and stretching and all that kind of stuff, or me with trying to figure out how to stimulate the muscle
Yeah.
best. I
The
think
alignment principles, all right?
alignment principles.
Alignment principles.
Yeah.
Stretchings for ladies.
All right, now we'll go circle back. Tell me about this life coaching thing. I've seen it on Instagram. We talked about it. And like I said, you kind of talked about your own personal experiences, but anything else you want to add to that?
No, the yoga life coaching is exactly what I feel like I was. I'm looking out the window, some guy's trimming a bush right outside my window and just made awkward eye contact with me. But so yoga life coaching is all about using the yogic philosophy. So when we talk about that, just like the idea of looking at people as not so much human beings, but higher beings in the sense that they're doing the best with what they've got to work with. And so approaching people really from a place of compassion and saying that you've got all the right answer. This is what your experience is exactly perfect for the moment, given your past experiences and the tools you have to work with, and your overall knowledge. And so just helping facilitate that. So in the yoga life coaching, I'm just there to ask the questions because things will come up and I'll ask the tough questions and they have the opportunity to really look, okay, yeah. And that's when we start to have aha moments, as we call them,
Right.
where it clicks and makes sense. And they figure it out on their own. Like, I'm not there to do any counseling. I'm not going to tell them exactly like what they should do. I'm just there, okay, is this something, like basically to be the person to ask, is that true? Or is that necessarily what you want to do? Just, is that what you want? And then what our overall aspect of yoga life coaching is, to sum it up, I guess, a purposeful, powerful conversation about the particular person I'm meeting with, the client, and where they are right now. So in the moment, when I call them, just what's going on right now, not a day ago, not even an hour ago, what's going on right now, what are you feeling? If something comes up from there, then that's where we run. Otherwise, we're going to direct the conversation more towards, all right, what do you want to create with your future? And that's been big on the personal development, manifesting your life that you want, the life that we dream about. It takes, I would say, it takes outside help, and not a lot of people in our culture are okay with thinking that way. Like, I have my own life coach and mentor. Like, I'm always contacting people and getting new inputs. We have this attitude that we're going to go at it alone, that there's nothing wrong with me, and it doesn't
Right.
mean there's, and what the coaching aspect, there's nothing, we're not saying anything's wrong with anybody, but we're just providing additional input, because as human beings, we can't fully see ourselves as ourselves. If that makes any sense. We actually need someone else to be a mirror, a reflection, so that we can get a better grasp. And there's some things we're going to miss. We get in our stories, our ruts. So yoga life coaching, just there to kind of, I don't know, open the doors to different possibilities.
So with different possibilities, are we talking about a Yoga Derek life coaching YouTube channel in the
I
future? Because
think
I've
that's,
been begging you to do
I
this
know,
for a
man.
while
You
now.
know what? And I see, I'm having a lot of fun on this, doing this camera thing, and I definitely think that would be something to pursue, especially like just going out. How I love just interacting in the community. That could be something like just taking it out, getting to know people. And honestly, when I get, like, for example, I went downtown recently. Haven't been out to the downtown scene in a while.
Oh,
But
Iowa City
amazingly,
downtown.
the Iowa City downtown, it was formerly #1 party school, dropped down to #2.
Oh,
Um,
wait, who's number one now?
Syracuse.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
They get cheaper vodka drinks or something. Um, and so I don't normally go downtown because I'm all about this personal development aspect, and I'm not really going to grow down in that environment. But I had an opportunity, like some friends invited me, wanted to catch up with some people, and it was fantastic. I connected with so many different people, and I went down there like by myself, and just like whatever happens. And it's amazing when you're by yourself and you're just moving naturally, the type of people that gravitate towards you. So I basically attracted a bunch of yoga life coaching clients because they're like, I like the way you think. We bouncing ideas off, getting to know some more about some people, and they're like, this is what I've been looking for. So I found that what I have to offer is something that is definitely sought out. That the reason why a lot of people are downtown, there's a hole that they're feeling that can't be filled with material, and it can't be filled with as much alcohol. There's quite a bit of alcohol, and it's not doing the job downtown. So there's another aspect that, well, you and I understand it, that we're trying to grow, develop ourselves, and it only comes through our craft and the type of connections we form with people. So, yeah.
I think that's, I
Awkward
mean,
tangent, yeah.
dude, I told you you can go on as many tangents as
that's
you
right.
want, because
Go
the
off.
tangents normally lead to great content. But I think, I mean, Derek and I used to we would have like I got him to go to a couple of Diet Coke Fridays, Saturdays, and
Do your viewers know about the Diet Coke
no,
Fridays?
no.
Oh,
So
see, I think that should be something to start, Since you can,
it's
like, even get a hashtag on it. Your little tag
that's
handle.
true. But these Diet Coke nights out on the weekends,
You got one in the
when you're
background.
dieting, yeah, when you're dieting, I do got one in the background. When you're dieting, you're not trying to intake calories and that kind of stuff. So, you go to the bar, instead of getting an alcoholic beverage, you get a Diet Coke or a Diet Mountain Dew, whatever you prefer, and it's a healthier way.
And then you
To kind
dance
of,
your ass off.
I'm really into dancing. People who see my Instagram whatever, know that I live for dancing. I don't know what's my problem or why I
No,
enjoy it so
nothing.
much. It's not a
It's
problem,
nothing.
but it's actually a great time. But yeah, Derek and I would just go downtown, do our thing. We'd set a little bedtime because we knew we
Yeah.
had shit to do the next day, and I think that
hmm
was that
That's
was
another aspect of it, yeah.
yeah, and I think
It's
that
saying, like, I'm gonna leave at this time. Be clear with it, and that's how you have a good night.
yeah, and I think that a lot of people, they don't go out because they're like, well, I'm gonna have to drink or whatever. But really, we were just like, man, I want to be around people. I like being around
Mhm.
people. Derek likes being around people, And I think it was a good time for us. And Derek mentioned this to me earlier when we were talking, is you see things in a completely different way when you're sober than when you have that tunnel vision when you're drinking and you're just not as observant. So it was a great time. And like I said, hopefully, Derek, I'm going to be back in town here in 3 weeks, so maybe we can do one again. But what are your future plans? I mean, what's next in the
Going
life of
forward.
Yoga Derek? Yeah.
Yeah, so going forward, I'm really working on building this particular Yoga Derek brand, and to be honest, it's something that's like unfolding, and as the process comes about, that I don't have it all figured out. Definitely like where the life coaching's going. Definitely love the yoga and the aspects of it. I'm interested in kind of designing my own brand or style of yoga that combines a lot of the personal fitness stuff as far as like functional movement patterns and taking yoga a little bit off the mat and making it something where like you're moving in all different directions, not so linear. We're stood here and then we got to rotate. So bringing some new aspects of it, but also I think that there's a move coming soon that takes a little bit of me branching out of Iowa City. I'm an Iowa City guy, born and raised, and I think that the next evolution, I'm approaching that peak, that summit, or what I call the apex, and eventually I gotta move out. So that's actually the brand, Apex Yoga.
Apex Yoga. I like that. I do like that. Now, I mean, for those people that are not necessarily familiar with you, how can they get in contact with you? How can they find out more about Yoga Derek and the philosophy?
Yeah, and so I'm working on my social media stuff. I struggle with it. I know you're great. You're up to date with, especially the videos and stuff. The thing I have a hard time with is how much of it is the experience itself, and how much of it is like I got to promote. Finding that balance, because I don't want to be the heavy promoter guy, and I'm missing out on life, and I'm missing out on the beauty, the journey as it unfolds. So I think I'm finding a more comfortable balance. I used to be way over here and like, nah, I don't want to. Whatever, I enjoy it, but I think some people really gain some perspective. Like I posted something the other day about my paddle boarding experience, yoga on the paddle boards, and a bunch of people
I saw that.
me, they're like, I want to do that. So if it's something that can spread and other people are gonna benefit from it, then it's something to share. But if it's just for me and my ego to promote, then that's when I kick it off the table. So if people want to get a hold of me, I am on Instagram. Is probably like my favorite tool right now. At Yoga Derek or whatever. Instagram's Yoga Derek. I do use Twitter, but very rarely. Basically, my Twitter is just all the Instagram photos.
As is mine.
Exactly. Yeah, I got Twitter's not really my thing right now. But then you can find me on Facebook. I do have a Yoga Derek Facebook page, but I also use my own personal Facebook, which is Derek Paul. And you'll see I got much shorter hair in there.
Yeah, I like the long hair.
This has been an evolution, like starting in January. This has come about. So I had like basically shaved, and then January I was like, all right, time for the new look.
I like the evolution of Yoga Derek's hair aesthetics for sure.
I'm also looking at creating my own shampoo, conditioner again.
100% natural.
100% all natural.
All natural Yoga Derek hair gel. I like that. But hey, Derek, I wanted to say thanks. I appreciate your time as always. I really think we should start doing this on a regular basis. Yeah. Maybe we can get more people involved. Maybe we could even get, Elliot. I bet you Elliot would almost be down to do something like this.
Yes.
And that would almost be a dream come true to both of us, I'm sure.
I know. I remember when he was hiring like another intern, someone to work with him. I was stoked. But here's the thing. I bitched out, and I could have submitted a video. I could have put the time and just gone for it. But the negative thought process I had was I was like, oh, he's not going to pick me, as if I'm not good enough. But we need to recognize that you and I both have plenty of talent here. We have awesome, interesting stuff to share, and we provide a particular service to the world, which is that educating, enlightening people to become strongest versions of themselves. So thank you for inspiring me, man. Appreciate it. I'm gonna stay.
We both inspire each other, and I think that's kind of where the chemistry of our training came from, and our hangouts over the last year, so that we've gotten to know each other. But with all that being said, Derek, as always, I appreciate your time. We're going to be doing this more in the future. All of Derek's information will be in the description, so be sure to check him out. And I'm going to make him do a yoga video soon enough, so be prepared. And Namaste, sir.
Yes. Namaste, man.
Have a
Peace.
good have a good night.